So I appreciate all of the comments that I get that lead to deeper exploration or better explanation of the Bible. So I will say thank you to Walking Temple, who appears to be a new listener on my channel, has commented on my most recent video talking about no man knows the day or the hour. And one of the comments was to the effect of differentiating between Luke 21 and Matthew 24, which I will do another video about, but yes, they are different, which yay. And he says Chuck Missler talked about that also. Cool, I didn't know that, but there you go. The other comment was, interesting take on no man knows the day or the hour. I'm not on board with your interpretation yet, but it is something to consider. Time to study and look into this. Well, fortunately, someone had just asked about Matthew 24, 42 through 44 on a different video, and those verses also contain the word no. So what we're actually looking at is every verse, and if you study this out, you'll see the truth of it, but every verse that uses the word no or knoweth in Matthew 24 uses the same Greek root word. So I'm going to take you through that study and show you how I concluded what I concluded, and show you how Jesus' own words validate this interpretation that this Greek word means. So here we go. No one knows. To have seen or perceived, hence to know. This is actually exactly how I described it, that it's the physical perception that leads people to a spiritual truth. Is that of that day and hour, the second coming, specifically of the passing away of the heavens and the earth and the manners in which the second coming will unfold and what that will mean for humanity and mankind, no man knows. To have seen or perceived, hence to know. Meaning that your sight has led you to comprehension or understanding. That when you have seen something at play, you now understand what was said, what was written. It is now explainable and comprehensible to your brain, to your sense of logic. So that's what we're looking at, is this definition here. So I just, relative to the other comment that I got, went and brought up Matthew 24:42, which also contains the word no, which says, keep watch therefore, for you know not on what day your Lord comes. This is not in the King James, and so the translation, they're talking about what day. That's actually not what the context of the verse actually is, but that's beside the point. We're going to go to this word here, which is the same root word I was just talking about. To have seen or perceived, hence to know. So here's the description that I pasted in the comment of both videos to help people understand this is not my interpretation. This is what the word actually means. We have to keep in mind, if we didn't know, or maybe we need to know if we didn't know, that the Greek language is so much more specific than English. So we have this like a cognitive knowing. Like that's what we just go to. When people say, no man knows the day or the hour, they're talking about like on a calendar, you can't know a date. And that is totally beyond the scope of what he's talking about here. This is talking about comprehension, spiritual or mental comprehension based on physical perception. That is what this word means. So again, it's not my interpretation, it's what the word in Greek actually means. Definition, to be aware, behold, consider, perceive. Properly to see with physical eyes as it bridges into metaphorical sense, or I see what you mean, I comprehend, I understand what you mean because I saw a depiction of what you were talking about. Or seeing that becomes knowing. It's a gateway to grasp a spiritual truth from a physical plane. It's a physical sight which should lead to a mental or spiritual seeing or comprehension. That is what the word know in Matthew 24 is talking about. Is mental perception that leads to a physical sight, physical perception that leads to mental or physical comprehension or understanding. So that's why I said in that video, the way that that's written, of that day and hour, no one understands unless they are there to see it physically, to witness it. Then they will understand. You have to be there to witness it, to understand it. Specifically what I said. Because that's what the word means. And this is why, when you go to Jesus' other words in Matthew 24, What's going to happen when they see with their eyes and have mental comprehension, spiritual comprehension? Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Because it is the sight of the second coming of Jesus Christ, in conjunction with the passing away of the heavens and the earth, that physical sight, that physical experience that leads to a spiritual comprehension of a truth that they're all about to die. That is the context of knowing. So I wanted to add a little bit more clarification, and thank Walking Temple for commenting about this, because it gave me a better way to explain it, do a screen share of the actual words, and then discuss that that is actually the manifestation of what will happen when they do understand, when they do see, when they do understand, as Matthew 24:30. All the tribes of the earth mourning, because that is when physical perception leads to spiritual understanding, and it ain't going to be good. So thank you. Keep commenting, guys. I appreciate it.